and he's hitting .224 against the league. Jimmy takes a pitch low, and 1 ball and no strikes. Rollins last night 0 for 5 with 3 meaningless fly balls, which is not his game. The 1-0 pitch on the way. Jimmy swings, pops it up. It'll be on the left side. Casey Blake looks up into that powder blue and makes the catch for the out. So Rollins pops one up, 1 down here in the first inning. Here are the Dodgers with the leather. Juan Pierre, Matt Kemp, and Andre Ethier. The infield, Casey Blake, Rafael Furcal, Orlando Hudson, and James Loney. And the battery of Eric Milton and Russell Martin. Lovely evening at the start of the game. 66 degrees. And now the wonderful player at second base, Chase Utley, who among other things in his career is a .310 hitter against the Dodgers. And of course he said hello to them last night. Utley had a double and the Dodgers walked him a couple of times intentionally, and he takes a strike. Chase last night also lost perhaps another double and a fine running catch by Juan Pierre. He's simply dynamite, hitting .299, 12 home runs, 36 runs batted in, squirts one up along third. Blake really doesn't have a play, and Utley will get aboard. So no doubt the Dodgers feel the gods have really frowned upon them when a player as good as Utley just dribbles one up along third and the Dodgers can't make a play. So a 1-out single for Chase Utley, and that will bring up Jason Worth. So Utley at first. As kids, you'd holler lucky as he talks out of the side of his mouth to James Loney. And now here is Jason Worth hitting .257, 8 home runs, 28 runs batted in, stole 4 bases against the Dodgers in Philadelphia, including a steal of home. Big right-hand batter. Milton a look over at Utley. Now a high kick, and he comes to the plate and drops the breaking ball low. Ball 1, 1-0. Everybody runs on the Philadelphia ball club. Utley is 5 for 5. What's more important is the fact that Phillies are so successful in stealing bases. They've been successful 22 of the last 23. So every pitching staff in the league very jumpy. Utley a short lead, and the 1-0 pitch on the way. Worth takes a strike, and the count 1-1. If he carry it out for the year, Charlie has his ball club, Charlie Manuel, has them 44 for 53. That's an 83% success rate in stealing bases. So Manuel runs them, and it has indeed paid off. 1 ball and 1 strike. Utley a very short lead. Milton just stares now to the plate, and it is swung on and missed, and for Jason Worth the count runs to 1-2. Eric Milton, 6'3", 210. He'll be 34 in August. The 14 games that he won for Philadelphia does not match his high. Back with the Minnesota Twins, he won 15 in 2001. And the next pitch is inside, and a count 2-2. Fastball, it seemed to have a little cut to it. It ran in a bit at the thighs. So 2-2 the count to Jason Worth. 2 ball clubs, the Dodgers and the Phillies, who are so very close to each other. Not just the fact that they have split their previous 4. Milton set. Another look over at Utley. The 2-2 pitch, fastball down and away. The 3-2 the count. The Phillies are second in winning percentage. The Dodgers are first. The Phillies are second in runs scored. The Dodgers are first. Innings with 3 or more runs. The Dodgers are first, and Philadelphia second, and so it goes. Now the 3-2 pitch. We'll watch Utley with 1 out. There he goes, and the pitch is way outside. Ball 4. So it could have been that Milton had one eye on Utley. So an infield single and a walk, and now the big man comes up, and that of course would be Ryan Howard. Howard, as he walks up to the plate, 16 home runs, 46 runs batted in. He already has 3 grand slams this year, and at his tender age he has 8 slams in his young career. Last night he had a scoring fly ball and a walk, and did make a mistake on the base paths, and the Dodgers ran him down between third and home. Howard really gets your attention. He is 6'4", 255 at least. Big left-hand hitter with an open stance, bends at the knees and waist. They load up the side as he swings at a breaking ball and doesn't get it. Big slow curve. 0-1 the count. Dodgers have their own diamond defense. However, with a runner at second base, for call, can't really overcommit. Not quite behind second base. 0-1 to Ryan Howard out of St. Louis, Missouri. Big Ryan waits. Milton set, checking the runners at first and second. Back he comes, and it's foul to the screen, and the count 0-2. Ryan Howard, who was the Rookie of the Year in 2005, showed that was no fluke. Came back in 2006 and was the MVP. 2006, he was a one-man gang. He had 58 home runs and 149 runs batted in. And even though he is just 29, he's already hit 193 home runs. So Ryan waiting, bent at the knees, not quite sitting in a chair, but almost. And now tired of waiting and backs out. The Phillies are a puzzle at home. They're 12-14, with their hot stuff on the road, 20-6. 0-2 the count. Milton trying to get out of a first inning jam. Howard waves at a pitch down and away, and the big man now goes down swinging. For Howard, that would be the 66th time that he has struck out so far this year. So 2 down, and now Raul Ibanez coming up. Ibanez having a solid year coming over to the Phillies after having spent so many years with the Mariners. Raul, left-hand batter, hitting .335, 19 home runs, 53 runs batted in. Naturally, in Philadelphia, they talk a lot about Ryan Howard because he's been there. Ibanez just arrived, and he arrived with a bang. And the pitch to Raul, big slow curveball in for a strike, and the count 0-1. Of course, Ibanez proved himself to be a good ball player many years ago. He's 37 years old and first came up to the Mariners back in 1996. So Ibanez, the left-hand hitter, waiting. 2 on, 2 out. First inning, no score. Next pitch is grounded foul outside of first down the line, and the count 0-2. Ibanez was born in Manhattan. His mother was pregnant with him when she, his father, and 2 young sons left Cuba for the United States. That was why he timed it perfectly to be born in this country. 37 last Tuesday, and Ibanez at the plate. He's 6'2" and about 220. Bends at the knees and waist, but not open like Howard. Utley and Worth out on the baselines, and the strike 2 pitch. Milton, a high set, very deliberate. Now the left-hander ready, and a fastball is popped up on the right side. Hudson and Loney, and it will be Hudson hollering and takes it for the out. No runs, a squib single, and 2 left, and at the end, it's half an inning. Phillies nothing, Dodgers coming up. Philadelphia fails to score, leaving 2 in the first inning. And we'll take a look at the Dodger lineup card. No dramatic changes at all. The same club that took the field last night. That means Pierre, Furcal, and Hudson, Blake, Loney, and Martin, Ethier, Kemp, and Milton. So the Dodgers shut down completely last night, come back with the same club against the veteran Jamie Moyer. And to call him a veteran is really the understatement. Jamie will be 47 years old in November. He originally signed with the Cubs out of St. Joseph's University in Philadelphia in 1984. 25 years ago. Jamie's a wonder in the first pitch in for a strike and the count 0-1. Actually, you could spend a good portion of the night just talking about Jamie Moyer. The left-hander ready, and the strike one pitch to Pierre is taken off the plate, among other things. When Moyer was named to the American League All-Star squad for the first time 6 years ago, he became the second oldest first-time All-Star player. He misses inside to Pierre. Moyer was 40. Satchel Paige was 46 when he was first selected. Here's the 2-1 pitch on the way. Line drive, base hit to left field. So Juan Pierre, no respecter of age, went 1 for 4 last night. Lines a single to left. We'll take a look at the Phillies defensively. And in the outfield, Ibanez, Worth, and Bruntlett. And the infield, Felice, Rollins, Utley, and Howard. And the battery would be Coast handling Jamie Moyer. So with Pierre at first and nobody out, Rafael Furcal checking in at the plate. Overall batting average .239. He's hitting .250 right-handed. Pierre has stolen 11 out of 15. Moyer set and decides to go over there, and Pierre back on the bag. Only 2 pitchers in Major League Baseball history have gone from 23 games under 500 to 23 games over 500 in a career. Red Ruffing of the New York Yankees and Jamie Moyer. Moyer is set again, pays a visit to first. By the way, Jamie, who was once 23 under, is now 60 games over 500. Every time you look through Moyer's record, you realize he's won 250 games. Left-hander looking at Pierre, and Pierre goes. The pitch is outside. The throw is too late and high. So it's the Phillies who've been doing the base stealing, but it's the Dodgers who come right back on the attack. And Juan Pierre has now stolen 12 out of 16. It was a straight steal. He was not looking back to see what Furcal was doing. So 1 ball and no strikes. Pierre at second, Bluff's going to third, and the pitch is a strike, and the count 1-1. Since 1900, the 3 left-hand pitchers to win 10 or more games in a season at the age of 42, Tommy John, Warren Spahn, and Jamie Moyer. Left-hander comes back to the plate and works it low to Furcal. 2 balls and 1 strike. Jamie is an even 6, 185 pounds, out of Sellersville, Pennsylvania. Lives in Bradenton, Florida. Left-hander checking Pierre again. The 2-1 pitch Furcal takes low, ball 3. When Jamie was at high school, he moved on to St. Joe's, and the baseball team was coached by a science teacher, so he had to really learn it himself. Here's the 3-1 pitch coming up. And Moyer is off the rubber. 3-1. Jamie worked hard when he was in school. It didn't come easy for him at all. Here's the 3-1 pitch to Rafael Furcal. Moyer delivers, and it is swung on, popped in the air, back of first, down the line. Trio of Phillies. Utley, the middleman, makes the catch in foul ground. Pierre tags up, and he is out at third. Chase Utley making a great throw from an awkward position in foul ground down the right field line. And you knew Utley, who is a very intelligent player, he knew, I've got Pierre at second base. I guarantee you he's going to tag up. So it was no surprise. Utley just whirled through a strike, and Pierre was hung out to dry. And for Utley, he was between Bruntlett and Howard, and then just whirled and threw a one-hopper to third, and Pierre was a dead duck trying to come over. So just like that, 2 down. Wonderful play by Utley. Pierre is nailed, and the batter now is Orlando Hudson. So 2 down, first inning, no score. Moyer's change floats high, ball 1. When Jamie Moyer was at St. Joe's, he had to work hard. He painted crosswalks, he collected reeds, he mowed bumpy municipal ball fields. He worked for the borough. The next pitch to Orlando is low, 2 balls and no strikes. Jamie recalling those days, he'd pack a sandwich at breakfast, eat it while doing his work. Meanwhile, a drive to right, Bruntlett going back, turns to his right man, just shy of the track, 1 step on to make the catch, and that'll do it for the Dodgers. No runs, 1 hit, nobody left. At the end of an inning, no score. Each side with a base hit. Utley squirted 1 up along third. Pierre a line drive single to left, and we move to the second now. Moyer made only 12 pitches in the first inning. Pedro Feliz, Eric Bruntlett, and Chris Coast in that order. Feliz, right hand hitting third baseman, hitting .257. Check me. He has 2 home runs, 28 runs batted in, and he's doing better than that as he lashes 1 foul down the line. Feliz hitting .297. So Pedro followed by Eric Bruntlett, then Chris Coast. Eric Milton working up against Jamie Moyer. Milton into the windup. The strike 1 pitch on the way. Fastball and a little fly ball into shallow left center that's going to drop for a base hit. So Feliz opens up the second inning with a single. And the batter now will be Eric Bruntlett. Bruntlett displayed a very strong throwing arm last night. Got 1, missed the other. He is 0 for 4 last night. Hit 1 ball right on the screws, and he hit a blur right at James Loney. So Eric Bruntlett checking in, right-hand batter, hitting only .122. Shane Victorino, who at one time was in the Dodger organization, but Victorino down with a bad hip, so Bruntlett is playing. Eric waits, has a look, and promptly bangs it into left field, base hit. So here come the Phillies now. Back-to-back singles by Feliz and Bruntlett. Nobody out, and Chris Coast, the catcher, coming up. You know, junior Dodgers can now train for the big leagues on the field at Dodger Stadium during one-day junior Dodger training days. Your kids can learn baseball skills from Dodger coaches, trainers, and both former and current players. Open to children ages 7 to 12. Packages include a Dodger jersey, hat, and ticket voucher. Purchase online at Dodgers.com/Junior Dodgers or call 323-224-2646. All right, here's Chris Coast, right-hand hitting catcher, batting .246 and takes a strike. 0-1. Last night, Carlos Ruiz handled the pitching and had 2 base hits and a stolen base. The Coast, and you wonder when you have someone like a Jamie Moyer pitching, if the catcher even tries to call signs. Coast is 34. To the bag goes Hudson to handle a throw, but no play. Chris Coast, who spells his last name C-O-S-T-E, 2 years ago at Petco, hit his first major league home run, becoming just the 3rd non-pitcher in major league history to hit his first home run at the age 33 or older. The other 2, So Taguchi and Alan Zintner. The Coast waiting, and time called for the moment. There's a beach ball loose in left field. Coast is out of Moorhead, Minnesota, lives in Fargo, North Dakota. Did you see that movie? Well, how in the world would you live in Fargo, North Dakota? Boy, you got to be tough to live there, and I assume Chris is just that. He's been with the Phillies on and off for the last couple of years. 6'1", 205-pounder. Milton checking the runners with nobody out, and the next pitch is lifted to center. Going back on the ball is Kemp. Tagging up is Feliz. Knapp for the catch, and Feliz on his way to third without a play. So Coast, a long fly ball to center. Feliz at third, and with runners at first and third, Jamie Moyer coming up.
Jamie Moyer.
A note about Jamie Moyer, of course, come to think of it, every time Moyer plays, you have some note on him. But there was another thing about him that was kind of interesting. The fact that he had 2 hits in a game, as Peloso talks to Moyer. So Jamie has gotten the message and comes up. The Dodgers probably thinking Moyer is going to bunt. Not trying to squeeze, just trying to stay out of the double play and move Bruntlett along. Last year, May the 5th, Jamie Moyer had 2 hits in a game he won for the Phils, becoming just the 4th pitcher 45 years or older to have 2 hits in a game. He shows bunt and drops the bunt down. The only play is to first base. Down to second goes Bruntlett, so that was an acceptable move as Moyer goes back to the dugout. The others who had 2 hits in a game, Jack Quinn, who did it 3 times, Satchel Paige, who did it 3 times, and former Dodger Charlie Huff, who did it once. So Moyer now puts the Phillies with runners at second and third, 2 down, and Jimmy Rollins, the batter, with 3 home runs, 18 runs batted in. Jimmy is 0 for 6, all 6 balls hit in the air. Rollins an MVP. Jimmy waiting, switch hitter, batting right-handed. Milton ready, comes to the plate, breaking ball, drops in nicely for a strike, and the count 0-1. Back in 2001, Jimmy Rollins set the Phillies all-time record on consecutive stolen bases, 35 in a row without being caught. He really runs well, and he's also had 2 gold gloves at short. Takes a pitch off the plate. 1 ball and 1 strike. Do they like him? You betcha. Philadelphia signed him to a 5-year contract extension, and they have an option for 2011. He's only 5'8", but he is a big man in Philadelphia plans, and he's 30 years old. He'll be 31 in November. So he's up there with Feliz and Bruntlett in scoring position. 1 ball and 1 strike to Jimmy Rollins. Milton in trouble in the first inning, now in the second, works a pitch a little low. 2-1 the count. So Eric trying to noodle his way out of this. Of course, if you go to State College, you immediately think of Penn State. His dad was a lab technician there. And among other things, Eric majored in kinesiology. and education. 2 balls and 1 strike to count to Jimmy Rollins with 2 out, no score. Second inning fastball grounded to Furcal. Raphael cranks it up and throws him out. First time Rollins has hit a ball on the ground in the series. Phillies lead 2 to they've left 4, and at the end of an inning and a half, no score. The kids are here. It's Friday night and fireworks. And the first pitch of the plate in for a strike to Casey Blake. 0-1. Blake, Loney, and Martin in that order. Phillies have left 4 men in the first 2 innings. Moyer comes back 0-1 and a fastball on the outside corner, and the count 0-2. Moyer's fastball clocked at 76. That's right, 7-6. A lot of gas. 0-2 the count to Casey Blake. A pitch inside at the kneecaps. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Jamie Moyer, when he looks back at his career, goes back to a fellow who had played ball at St. Joe's in Philadelphia. Pitch inside. His name was Kevin Quirk, and Quirk was signed with the Yankees and then came back to campus in the fall. 2-2 pitch on the way. Breaking ball misses. And he showed Jamie Moyer how to throw a changeup, and that just turned Moyer's life completely around. Here's the 3-2 pitch on the way. Breaking ball fouled off. Jamie signed with the Cubs. Growing up in Pennsylvania, his hero was Larry Boa, who of course is now coaching against him from the third base coaching box. 3-2 pitch on the way is a fastball hit to the right side to Utley. That usually means an out, and it is. 1 down. Moyer also had another hero with the Phillies. His name was Steve Carlton. And when Jamie signed his contract with the Cubs 2 years later, he was pitching in Wrigley Field, and he beat Steve Carlton, his idol, in his very first big league start. Jamie married Karen Phelps. She's the daughter of the former Notre Dame basketball coach Digger Phelps, who does a lot of basketball on ESPN. And they are really to be commended. Moyer's slow breaking ball in for a strike to Loney. That was 70. So the curveball was clocked at 70 and the fastball was clocked at 76. Kind of hard to figure it out. Now the strike 1 pitch. Jamie's fastball is low. Ball 2, 2-1. He got that one to 81. Anyway, they have established a series of camps, over 18 camps for troubled children all over the United States. Loney takes inside, ball 2. And before the game tonight, Jamie and Karen was saluted. They're opening Camp Aaron here in Los Angeles. 2-1 pitch. Jamie delivers, and that's grounded up along first base. Fair ball. Howard stays with it, takes it to the bag, and we have 2 down in the second inning. And the batter will be Russell Martin. Since we're not going to see Moyer for a while, maybe in the fall, we'll continue to talk about him and Karen. Among other things, they adopted Yennefer, an infant from a Guatemalan orphanage, and they have 7 children now. So with Karen and Jamie, they have 9, just enough for a baseball team. 2 down here in the second inning, no score. And the batter Russell Martin hitting .263. Moyer into the windup and delivers, in the first pitch a little high. Dodgers were all over Jamie in Philadelphia. I mean, they really scrambled his eggs. 4 1/3. He gave up 8 hits and 7 runs. Next pitch is in there. He took something off that. 1 ball and 1 strike. So Jamie Moyer, when he's on, gives a little clinic, and he's trying to do that tonight. 1-1 pitch on the way is taken for a strike. Cole Hamels, who pitched a brilliant game last night, was saying that he learned so much about pitching from Jamie Moyer. Pretty fortunate to be left-handed and be on the same club as Jamie. The next pitch is whacked to the gap in right center, but it's slicing a room service line drive right into the glove of Eric Brunton. So the Dodgers go 1-2-3, and at the end of 2, no score. Brought to you by Jack in the Box, where you can get anything on the menu any time of the day. And by Southwest Airlines, ready when you are. Go to southwest.com, grab your bag. It's on. No score at the end of 2 innings. Beautiful evening, and Grandpa's really busy. He's got twins dressed in pink, and they are all over him. What a great picture that is. Wow. That could be on the cover of the Sporting News at least. So we go to the third, no score, Phillies and Dodgers. To compare the pitchers, Milton has made 26 pitches. Moyer has made 27, but a big difference. Fastball off the plate, ball 1 to Chase Utley. Milton had to get out of a first and second jam in the first inning and a second and third jam in the second. 1-0 to Utley, who just squirted one up along third for a leg single. This time he strokes one foul down the right field line. 1-1 to count to Chase Utley. Chase, a local boy, local in the fact that he was born in Pasadena, went to school at UCLA. What a way to break in. His first major league game ever, he hit a grand slam home run. The 1-1 pitch. Utley, it's a high fly ball to left. Pierre goes back a bit, but it's playable. Reaches up and makes the catch for the out. You know, starting tomorrow, Dodgertown will have a home with its very own zip code, 90090. In celebration, the Dodgers are offering $90,099 seats, including tickets to see the Phillies and the Padres. So visit Dodgers.com/eSavers and enter promo code Hudson13. One away, and here is Jason Worth, big right-hand batter. Takes a pitch up and away, ball one, 1-0. Worth at one time with the Dodgers, a fine player. The 1-0 pitch to Jason, victimized by injuries with the Dodgers, and he takes ball two. In 2004, the Dodgers were in playoff games against St. Louis, and Worth hit 2 home runs in that series for them. Pitch down and low, ball 3-0. And one other thing, you talk about a player coming back to haunt his old club. Worth is a .341 career hitter against the Dodgers. And add to that a bullet to center for a base hit. So they let him swing 3-0. And Jason Worth, a line drive single. Got a good pitch, fastball down the middle. Last night, Jason had a key hit to drive in a run. He hit a curveball that was probably 4 or 5 inches from the dirt. And it was a no ball 2-strike count, and he singled to center. So Ryan Howard, who came up with 2 on in the first inning and struck out, comes up now with 1 on and 1 out in the third inning. Howard batting .262, 16 home runs, 46 runs batted in. The Dodgers have pretty well shut him down since he's been in the league. Dodgers load up the right side. Milton throws over to first. When we say they pretty well shut him down, the numbers will tell you in his career he has 9 home runs against the Dodgers, but he's hitting just .189 against them. He has 8 grand slams, 3 this year. Milton out of his stretch, looks over at Worth, back to Howard, and that's up and in. 1 ball and no strikes to Ryan Howard. The big boy out of the show me state of Missouri, and he has certainly shown everybody. Rookie of the Year, MVP. Here's the 1-0 pitch coming up from Eric Milton, watching Worth, and the pitch to Howard. He's way out in front of it, and a 1 ball 1 strike count. Good change, and Howard hitting off the arm, watching Milton deliver, and he made a great changeup. 1 ball and 1 strike. Howard with 193. He got to 100 home runs faster than any player in Major League history. The next one to him is just off the plate. So Milton now 2 balls and 1 strike. Jason Worth at first with 1 out. Jason Worth has stolen 10 out of 11, 4 in 1 game against the Dodgers. So we'll see if they try to move him on a 2-1 count. Howard, of course, with all of his power, also strikes out a lot. Milton looks at Worth. Worth looks at Milton. Now Milton to the plate, and Howard, a bullet right by Orlando Hudson, and running to third base is Casey Blake along with the runner Worth. Even though they had 3 men on the right side, Ryan Howard hit a blur. Orlando Hudson diving, but the ball whizzed by him. And just like that, for the 3rd consecutive inning, the Phillies have 2 men on base. 2 on with 1 out in the first inning, 2 on with nobody out in the second inning, and 2 on with 1 out in the third. Raul Ibanez, who popped it up to Orlando Hudson in the first inning, now checking in. First and third, 1 out, no score in the third. Milton trying to bob and weave out there. The veteran left-hander ready and delivers, and the first one is fouled back. 0-1. Ibanez signed way back in 1992 by the Mariners. As we said, he's 37, and he first came up to the big leagues in 1996. Played a lot with the Mariners, left them for 3 years with the Royals, and then came back for 5 more years with the Mariners. Jason Worth at third, Ryan Howard at first, 1 out. No score in the third, and the Phillies threaten for the 3rd consecutive inning. The next pitch is a little low. 1 ball and 1 strike. Ryan Howard doesn't do much running over there at first base. Nevertheless, he is 2 for 2 in stolen bases. Phillies no runs, 5 hits, and we're in the 3rd inning. The Dodgers no runs, 1 hit. Milton set, checks the runners, comes back to his hitter Ibanez, ground ball, up with it is Loney. They get a force, but that's all. Milton was late in covering. There was nobody to handle a return throw from Furcal, and Worth came home easily on the force play. So the Phillies finally break through on that ground ball to Loney. 1-0 Philadelphia, and the batter now will be Pedro Feliz. So a single by Worth, a single by Howard. The force play picks up Worth, and with the Phillies 1-0, here's Feliz hitting .301. Milton out of a stretch, looks over the fingertips of his glove at first and works a pitch a little low. Ball 1. 1-0 to Pedro Feliz. Raul Ibanez standing over at first base. He's 4 for 4 in stolen bases. We told you the Phillies can run wild on you unless you really watch them. A stolen base last night was important. It was by the catcher Carlos Ruiz, and Worth singled him home to give the Phillies the 3-0 lead. The 1-0 pitch, line drive, just foul down the left field line, and a new bat will be required. So Pedro Feliz walking over. He didn't break it, but he just cracked it. 1-1 to Pedro Feliz. Feliz, who had a long career in the Giant organization, signed by the Giants back in 1994, came up and was with them from 2000 through 07, 8 years with the Giants. The 1-1 pitch, Milton ready and delivers, and a fly ball to left. There's Juan Pierre at the other end of it, and that's that. 1 run, 2 hits, 1 left. And at the end of 2.5 innings, Phillies 1, Dodgers 0. A bottle of milk, Mom holding her as she squirms her way to dreamland, I'm sure. Andre Ethier, Matt Kemp, and then Eric Milton, bottom of the 3rd, and Moyer's first pitch fouled away. You know what Jamie Moyer did, which you never see? Jamie Moyer on the third out went to the mound. There wasn't another player out there, and Chris Coast had to hurry up to get behind the plate. That's how quick he was to get back out on the mound. 0-1 the count. Moyer ready. Comes back with a pitch hit to straightaway center. Going back on the ball is Werth's just about on the track to make the catch for the out. So if here, fly ball to dead center. 1 away. When Jamie Moyer was learning to pitch, one of the interesting parts about how to pitch, and it sounds so basic, but they told him it all began with taking the ball out of your glove. And he carries the ball in the glove as he looks in to get a sign. If you were watching or listening, we talked about Cole Hamels last night, holding the ball in his glove and then reaching in. The left-hander delivers, down and away, 1 ball and no strikes. So yeah, that sounds very simplistic, but as he says, that's where it all begins. Jamie holds the glove up in front with the ball, reaches in, comes back with a pitch swung on and missed. Matt Kemp with a 9-game hitting streak, batting .311, half a dozen home runs and 30 runs batted in. 1-1 pitch on the way to Matt. Fastball down, ball 2. We talked about Moyer and his wife. They have the Moyer Foundation, benefits children's charities, an active supporter of the Fred Hutchinson Cancer Research Center, the Life Center in the Northwest, Refuse to Abuse. There's so many organizations that they are vitally involved in. His service to his fellow men, overwhelming. 2 balls and 1 strike. Jamie ready and comes back to Kemp. Matt fouls it away. 2-2 the count. Never seen him do it, but I've heard about Jamie Moyer getting ready before a ball game, and he hones his eyes and his concentration. He has a laminated card with a grid of 100 numbers placed in random order. How it works for him, I don't know. 2-2 pitch is on the inside corner. Strike 3 called, and down goes Kemp. Strikeout number 1 for Moyer, and with 2 out, the batter will be Eric Milton. Big spinner on that, and then it just floated in and got the plate. So Milton, who was a pretty fair hitter as a younger player, in fact, Milton was a DH at the University of Maryland, left-hand batter. Moyer's first pitch low and away, ball 1. Milton has had 6 at-bats. He's 0 for 6. Moyer comes back 1-0. This time it's on the inside corner. 1-1. Jamie also has, they tell me, another set of cards with 3 steps to problem solving. But how all that works with his pitching, I have no idea. A shattered bat. A little ground ball to Utley, and that will do it. The Dodgers go very quietly. 8 in a row retired by Moyer after the leadoff single by Pierre. It's 1-0 Philadelphia. Question. Jamie Moyer will be 47 in November. So he's the oldest active player. Who's the oldest player ever? Now that's a dandy. We'll find out in a while. Jamie was having a little trouble on the mound, we noticed, looking at Chris Coast's signs. Now we see why. He's had something in his right eye. So they're going to try and wash whatever it is out. He only made 10 pitches in the third inning, even though he was troubled. So in the fourth, 1 run, 5 hits for the Phillies, no runs, 1 hit for the Dodgers. Eric Milden has been in constant trouble and has just given up 1 run. And now he'll face Bruntlett, Coast, and Moyer. Phillies and Dodgers. Will they meet again in the fall? A lot of people think so. Phillies, of course, come here 3 games, picked up another last night, so they're now 4 in front of the Mets. Dodgers 8 in front of the Giants. Milwaukee and St. Louis are tied in the Central. And a drive to center, slicing a little, and a diving catch, but it's a ball hit the ground first. So a trap by Matt Kemp. The Bruntlett, a line drive single. He's 2 for 2.
Catcher number 27.
So near and
Chris
yet
Coast.
so far for Matt Kemp. Ball started to sink and pull at the same time, that close. So for Eric Milden, a lot of trouble. Felice led off the second with a single. Utley had a single with 1 out in the first. Worth had a single with 1 out in the third. Now Bruntlett a single. So he's given up 6 hits. Philadelphia has left 5, and it's just 1-0 Philadelphia. Chris Coast, the catcher, flied to center in the second inning. Fargo, North Dakota. Shot up the middle. Up with it is Hudson. Tries to shovel the ball to for call, and they miss the play. And you see Hudson tap his chest saying it's my fault. So Orlando tried to come up with it and shovel the ball to for call, and it's really hard to do that with the ball in your glove. He'll draw an error. There it is. Had he just gone to the bag, he probably would have had a double play. I mean, just instead couldn't get it. So the error puts Milton in another jam, first and second. By the way, that's another thing about the Phillies. For the Dodgers, they've now committed 24 errors. The Phillies, the best in the major leagues, they've committed only 17. So again, it's Moyer up there to bunt. Got one down in the second inning. Shows bunt, pulls the bat back for a strike. 0-1 to count to Jamie. Moyer does have 1 hit. He is 1 for 13, striking out 7 times. No balls, 1 strike. Phillies 2 on in the first inning, failed to score. 2 on in the second inning, failed to score. 2 on in the third inning, got Charlie Manuel a run. And now they have 2 on and nobody out in the fourth. 0-1 to count to Jamie Moyer. Off the plate. 1-1. Moyer is an even 6. Milden trying to shred the strike zone. 1 ball and 1 strike. Boy, Milden has really been pitching out of the stretch. Phillies have had 6 hits, a walk, and an error. The bunt foul. Back into the screen, 1-2. Moyer checking with Sam Palazzo to see if the bunt is still on. Bruntlett and Coast out on the baselines. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And foul back the bunt, so he is struck out. That is charged as the second strikeout for Eric Milden.
Number 11, Jimmy Rollins.
Now Jimmy Rollins coming up. Rollins popped up in the first inning, and with runners at second and third and 2 out, Jimmy grounded to short. Rollins joining some great names in baseball history as a shortstop who was the MVP in 2007. Matt Holliday came in second in that race. Marty Marion, Ernie Banks, Maury Wills, Barry Larkin, Jimmy Rollins. That's a strike, 0-1. Jimmy's biggest problem, everybody up in the Alameda area outside of Oakland, everybody knew he could really play, but at the time he was only 5'4". So the scouts kept sending in great reports, but they never mentioned his size. 1-1, just showing him a fastball. Finally, Jimmy had grown to about 5'6", but the scouts kept putting in a report that he was 5'9", knowing that if they put 5'6", the cross checker, the higher scout, would never come to take a look at him. And he learned to play baseball because his mom Gigi played competitive fast pitch softball. 1-1. Eric Milden in constant trouble, but it's remarkable. 7 hits, a walk, plus a Dodger error, and he's given up 1 run. 1-1 the count to Jimmy Rollins. And he lines it to right. Ethier is there to glove it, and the runner's at the hole. So Rollins is 0 for 5 with runners in scoring position. The Phillies, for the moment anyway, are 2 for 18 with runners in scoring position, and the batter is Chase Utley. So another frustrating at bat for Rollins. Utley had an infield single and fly deep to left. Chase, in his career with Philadelphia, he came up in 2004. Among other things, in 2006, he had a 35-game hitting streak. He had 203 hits and 32 home runs 2 years ago. You have to go back to 1929 to find a Phillies player who had that kind of a year. Lefty O'Doul and Chuck Klein. 0-1. Chase went to school here at UCLA. He also went to Long Beach Poly High. And back in 1997, the Dodgers knew he was a winner. Dodgers made an offer of $1 million to sign him in the second round, but he opted to go to UCLA. At Long Beach Poly High produced, among others, Tony Gwynn and Milton Bradley. 2 on, 2 out. 0-1. Utley hitting .301. And he hits one to right. Ethier going down to chase it in the corner. Here comes Bruntlett to score. They're going to wave Post in, and the relay to the plate in the dirt. What a play, and scoring because Martin dropped the throw. Chris Coast gets in. Martin made a remarkable short hop catch just as he was leveled by Chris Coast. One catcher leveling the other, and the ball got out of Martin's mitt. Ethier had to go all the way to the track when the ball hugged the wall and then got it in. 1 run was in, and then they ran the catcher. And for Call's throw, short hop, Martin had it in his glove. Then he was hit and knocked on his numbers, and the ball came out of the mitt. That's the one thing about a catcher's mitt. It's not like a fielder's glove with fingers where you can hold on to the ball. It's like trying to have a wet glass on a wet tray. So it is 3-0 Philadelphia. And the pitch fouled away by Jason Worth. So Chase Utley continues to give the Dodgers a bad time as he drives into. Chris Coast has been at both ends of a collision, of course, as a catcher, and makes the run as he explains to his teammates about the play at the plate. 3 runs, 7 hits for Philadelphia, no runs, 1 hit for the Dodgers. 0-2. So Jason Worth trying to pick up Utley, and despite the fact the Phillies have not done well with runners in scoring position, that is certainly not Chase Utley's fault. He had a key double last night and an even bigger double tonight. 0-2 the count to Jason Worth. Ball 1. Utley, who came in against the Dodgers with a career batting average of .310. Chase is 2 for 3, so he adds to that. And with those 2 RBIs, he has 21 runs batted in against the Dodgers personally. 1-2 the count. The last foul outside of third, down the line, still 1-2. So Utley got away. Worth was with the Dodgers for a while, and now he has a career .333 batting average against the Dodgers, and he walked and singled tonight, so he'll add to that. For Jason Worth, he's #1 in the league in pitches per plate appearance. Over his head. Jason Worth averages a little more than 4.5 pitches per at bat, and he's had 5 already here. 2-2. Phillies 3, Dodgers nothing in the 4th inning. Got it. So Worth strikes out to end the inning, but not before the error by Orlando Hudson turned the inning completely around. Coast turned Russell Martin around, and it's 3-0 Philadelphia. At 46, who's the oldest player ever to play in the big leagues? And the answer is Satchel Paige, 59 in 1965. I remember even when he came up, there was dispute as to just how old he was. They didn't have a birth certificate. They do have one for Jamie. Juan Pierre to start it, and a strike. How long has Pierre been around? Well, Juan has had a pretty good year, and has built on the reputation of one of the hardest players, hardest working. He's piled up 1,600 base hits, and he first came up almost 10 years ago. 1-1 to Juan. Almost hit him. Yes, it did. Got his sleeve. So Pierre hit by the pitch to open up the fourth inning. Now remember, he immediately stole on Moyer in the first inning. Got the sleeve. So Pierre aboard for Call, Hudson, and Blake, trying to get the Dodgers back into the game. Doing a little research on Jamie Moyer, give you an idea of his longevity. He's pitched to at least 6 father and son combinations. That's a strike. Buddy and David Bell, Bob Brett and Aaron Boone, Jose and Jose Jr. Cruz, Ken and Ken Jr. Griffey, Tony and Eduardo Perez, Gary and Darrell Ward, and there might be more in the last year or so. 0-1. There goes Pierre. Pitch outside, Coast on his knees, throws, and Pierre's in there. Close play. That was a great throw by Chris Coast to throw while on his knees. Shades of Benito Santiago. So Pierre is 2 for 2 in stolen bases. The throw was right there on one bounce. Very, very close. Utley thought he had him. So Pierre, with helmet flying, just did get his left hand on the bag and then his foot. Boy, Moyer can't wait to throw. Do you know that he had made 4 warm-up tosses and most of his teammates weren't on the field before the start of the inning? Never seen a pitcher in such a hurry to get at him. Two and 1 to Rafael Furcal. 3-0 Philadelphia. Dodgers, of course, blanked last night, so they've gone 12 innings without a run. Little roller, wide of third. Felice is on it, takes care of Furcal, and on the play, Pierre goes to third. 1 out. And that'll bring up Orlando Hudson, no doubt smarting from the error that ruined the inning in the fourth. Orlando Hudson flied to right in the first inning. Hitting .323. He's had a great first third with his new club. And ball 1. Nice block by Coast. 1 ball and no strikes. Waiting on deck, Casey Blake. Ball 2, 2-0. You know, another amazing thing about Moyer. May the 25th, 2007, he beat the Braves. His previous victory against them had come May 23rd, 1987. 20 years between wins. A chopper to Jimmy Rollins, whose throw is just in time. Juan Pierre comes home to score, and the Phillies lead is 3-1.
Third baseman, Blake.
So a hit batter, a stolen base, and 2 ground balls. Hudson gets the run batted in, and the Dodgers get on the board. Now Casey Blake, who grounded out in the second inning. Moyer works from the third base side of the rubber a bit. Ball 1, 1-0. Rubber just about obliterated by the dirt. Off speed on the inside corner. It goes all the way back to Kevin Quirk, St. Joseph's University, what seemed like 1,000 years ago. Ball 2, 2-1. Moyer had made only 35 pitches in the first 3 innings. Two and 2. Jamie has won, among other things, the Roberto Clemente Award. He won the Hutch Award. That's the one named after Freddie Hutchinson, the former player and manager. 2-2. And a drive into left center and deep. Going back as Worth reaches up and makes the catch. Nice play by Jason. And for Moyer, a hit batter, stolen base, 2 ground balls. Dodgers get a run. Phillies lead 3-1. Your 2 free Dodger tickets. Complete rules available at participating 76 stations. 3-1 in favor of Philadelphia. Nice crowd on hand tonight. Friday night and fireworks. And it's the Dodgers and the Phillies going head to head. Phillies scored 1 in the 3rd inning and then got a big break on an error by Orlando Hudson and scored 2 more in the 4th. Eric Milton has been in a lot of trouble, and here's Ryan Howard. When you look at the Dodger defense, the right side, you see Orlando Hudson is a good 10 feet out into right field, and yet Howard was still able to hit a blur that avoided Hudson's glove. 0-2. All alone on the left side, Casey Blake. Big curveball off the plate. One and 2 to Ryan. And he hits it into the gap in right center. Ethia trying to cut it off, but he can't get there. So Howard is on his way into second base, standing with a double. So Howard with 16 home runs. He has 15 doubles and 2 triples. So the Phillies leading 3-1, beat the Dodgers last night 3-0. And of course, for the Dodgers, it brings back painful memories of the LCS last year when the Phillies beat the Dodgers in 5 games, nailing it down right here in Dodger Stadium. So here's Ibanez, popped up, hit into a force play. Milton backed up now by Guillermo Mota in the bullpen. Milton has allowed 8 hits. He has walked 1, and he had a big error back of him. If it not for the error, he'd be down just 1-0 with all the hits. Nice save by Martin. 2 balls and no strikes. Martin going out to talk to Milton for the moment. You know, in that collision at home plate, Chris Coast, who is the catcher for the Phillies, is 6'1" and about 210. Russell Martin is 5'11" and about 200. So with Coast coming all the way from second base, the catcher beat catcher. All goes with the job. 2-0 the count. 2-1 to Raul Ibanez. Then Pedro Feliz. Phillies with a record of 32-20, but they do all their good work on the road. They are 20-6 on the road, and it is a shock to realize they're under 500 at home. They're 20-6 as opposed to 12-14 at home. As a hard ground ball smothered by Orlando to throw out Ibanez. On the play, Howard takes third. Orlando Hudson making a marvelous play. That prevents a run scoring. Boy, that had base hit all over it. And then able to get it over to Loney. Nothing they could do about Howard. He just moved over to third instead of scoring. And now I think Torres decided that Eric Milden has been bobbing and weaving, but we're going to stop this with eye cuts. Guillermo Mota's in the pen. Feliz and Bruntlett, right-hand batters, are due up. And I think Joe is bringing a hook with him, but we'll see. Joe holding court. Milden, among other things, has made 69 pitches. The Phillies are only 1 for 10 in runners in scoring position. Well, Joe holding on. Now the plate umpire Todd Tishner comes out and says, "What are you going to do?" And he said, "I've consumed some time. I want Mota to come in." And Eric Milden, despite the fact 9 hits, that dazzling play, gave up 8 hits and then lost one on that play by Orlando Hudson. So in one way he was fortunate, and then again, had it not been for Orlando Hudson's error, it might still be just 1-0. Oh, we'll be back.
Remember, you can join us from your seats or
And of course, Ryan Howard at third is also his responsibility as he stands just behind Randy Wolf. Guillermo Mota is brought in to pitch to Pedro Feliz, and among other things, Feliz has 2 home runs against Guillermo, who comes in despite that ERA over 6. The Dodgers feel that they've straightened him out of late, and it's reflected in the fact he has 7 1/3 scoreless innings in his last 6 games. The Phillies are winning again. but they are still struggling with runners in scoring position. And now they have Ryan Howard at third with 1 out. Dodger infield halfway. In fact, for a call, is back a little bit more. So Pedro Feliz single to center and fly to left. And hammered down the line, foul. A fastball. Oh boy, Feliz was all over it. Looking fastball, that's what he got. No balls and 1 strike to count to Pedro. One ball and 1 strike. A couple of fellas from the Dominican Republic going head to head. One and 1. 1 and 2. Phillies 3 runs, 8 hits. Would have been 9 except for that dazzling stop by Orlando Hudson. Dodgers just 1 run, 1 hit. The Dodger run. Pierre was hit by a pitch, stole second, and 2 ground balls got him home. Orlando made a crucial error in the 4th inning, and it led to 2 runs for Philadelphia. And that's at Orlando. The Feliz lines out, hits a breaking ball the other way. Howard has to hold. And with 2 down, the batter, Eric Bruntlett. Bruntlett is 2 for 2, single to left and single to center. They have never faced each other. Eric's the young fellow who went to Stanford. He had a brilliant educational background. Out of a 1600 on an SAT test, he had 1460. And at Stanford, studying for an economics degree, Eric Bruntlett finished his courses in 3.5 years. Came to Stanford on a baseball scholarship. Turned out to be quite a student. 0-2 to Eric Bruntlett. Off the plate, 1-2. Mota trying to restore order, picking up the pieces for Eric Milton. Two and 2 the count. Coming into the game, the Dodgers led the league in runs, 296, and Philadelphia right back of them at 290. So now it's 297 to 293. Fastball. 2 more games tomorrow afternoon, and then the concluding game, which will be Sunday evening. Joe Blanton will go against Hiroki Kuroda tomorrow. Antonio Bastardo will go against Randy Wolf on Sunday. And a fly ball coming up for it is Pierre. So Mota gets the 2 outs. He was fortunate. Feliz line drive was right at Hudson. No runs, a hit, a man left. 4.5, 3-1 Philadelphia. Bottom of the 5th inning. Dodgers have not been able to do anything against Jamie Moyer. And it'll be Loney, Martin, and Ethier trying to go after the veteran again. Loney grounded to first in the 2nd inning. And Moyer gives you the opinion he's really restless. Can't wait to get back out to the mound, ready to go to work. Ball 1. How about that, huh? 2 years old when Jamie was pitching for the Cubs. Fouled away, 1-1. Well, Moyer's got a handful of pitches. Great changeup. Then he has a fastball, which is not really very fast. 2 slow curveballs. He has a slider. He has a little cutter. And he has a sinker for good measure. 1 ball, 1 strike. Big, slow breaking ball, but not much happened to it. Jamie gets in trouble if he throws his changeup too hard in relation to the fastball. He'd like to keep a differential of at least 17 miles an hour, but can't really do that anymore. Hard foul, still 2 balls and 2 strikes. Other interesting thing about Jamie Moyer, and he really is a book out there are only 4 pitchers with 200 major league victories who won more games in their 40s than in their 20s. Most recently, Randy Johnson. 2-2. Fouled away. Phil Niekro, Charlie Huff, Jack Quinn, Randy Johnson. Talking about Huff, on June the 2nd, 2006, Moyer became the oldest pitcher to throw a shutout since Charlie Huff did it at age 46. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Got him on the outside corner, and that's the same story. Moyer never gives you 2 pitches in the same spot, and he strikes out Loney. You know, Sunday, join the Dodgers at the beach. Bleacher Beach at Dodger Stadium. Unlimited barbecue, fresh off the grill, Dodger beach bag, private beach party, oceanfront experience with a bird's eye view of the game. To purchase tickets, visit Dodgers.com/beach or call 866-DODGERS. 1 ball and no strikes to Russell Martin. Martin lined out to right in the 2nd inning. On the corner, 1-1. Russell batting .261, 20 runs batted in. Had a wonderful May, off to a slow start in June. When you look at Moyer, you realize he's about a 5-inning pitcher, maybe 6 at the most, and he's in his 5th now. Ground ball to short. Jimmy Rollins, 2 down. Coming into the game to look at Moyer's numbers, 10 starts and 53 innings. So a little more than 5 innings. So Jeff Weaver warming up in the Dodger bullpen, no activity in the Phillies pen. And Moyer ready to go after Andre Ethier. Moyer has only made 61 pitches. Remember last night, Cole Hamels went 9 and made only 97. Ball 1. Ethier flied to deep center in the 3rd inning. Dodgers have not had a rally. Their only run. Foul ball. Juan Pierre hit on the sleeve, opening up the 4th inning. Stole 2nd, and 2 ground balls got him home, and that's it. So the Dodger offense that was completely shut down by Cole Hamels has really not made a noise tonight. 1-1 to Andre Ethier. Andre hitting .262. Ball 2. Well, we've tried to tell you just about everything imaginable that we could come up with about Jamie Moyer. 2-2. One thing, of course, God's been good. Moyer began pitching for the Cubs in 1988, and he really never had any problems. I mean, a strain here and a sore there, but the only time he ever got really hurt was in a simulated game back in 2000. And that does it for Ethier. A comebacker hit him in the kneecap and fractured it, so he was out in October. 3-1 Philly. Was the invasion of Europe. We heard the names Sword, Gold, Juneau, Utah, and Omaha. Those were the names of the beaches as the British, Canadians, and the United States invaded Europe. Let's go back to this one. At 5:45 on the beaches of Normandy 65 years ago, something like 40,000 fell in the invasion that was called Operation Overlord. The bloodiest beach was Omaha. And then, of course, there was that area called Pointe du Hoc. You probably saw that in the movies, the Guns of Navarone, where the GIs had to try and climb 30-foot cliffs, and the Germans were on top of the cliff shooting down at them. So do us older guys a favor. If you have children, would you please take time out tomorrow and tell them the sacrifice that was made 65 years ago? Freedom is not free. Boy, a lot of fellas gave their lives so that we could be sitting here watching a baseball game. Please don't forget it. That'll do it for Chris Coast. One away in the 6th inning. Jamie Moyer takes off his windbreaker. He's coming up. Left-hander Brent Leach is throwing in the Dodger bullpen. Moyer sacrificed in the 2nd inning, tried to sacrifice in the 4th, and struck out. Moyer has hardly broken a sweat through his 5 innings. Jamie has a total of only 66 pitches. Even though his first pitch strike has not been effective to only 6 of 16 batters, he'd retired 15 of 16. That's a strike. 1-1 to Jamie Moyer. Breeze blown out to right field. Fastball strike 1-2. Phillies 3, Dodgers 1. 6th inning. 1 away. Fouled off to the left out of play. Jamie came into this game tonight with 250 victories and 190 losses for a plus 60. Two and two. Phillies scored a run in the third, 2 in the fourth. Dodgers got 1 in the fourth. Mota picking up for Eric Milton. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Fouled away. Moyer strikes out. 2 down here in the 6th. Jimmy Rollins coming up. You know, the Dodgers finished the homestand with the Padres on Wednesday, and the first 50,000 fans in attendance will take home a Dodger jersey cooler bag. Compliments of AM/PM. To secure your seat, visit Dodgers.com or call 866-DODGERS. Rollins popped up, grounded out, fly to right. A very frustrated Jimmy Rollins. He is 0 for 8 in the series. Grounded out with runners at second and third in the 2nd inning, and flied out with runners at first and second in the 4th. That's a strike. So Rollins, unaccustomed to the fact that he's hitting only .221. Jimmy hit .277 last year, .296 the year before that. I mean, he has always hit well. Off to one of his slower starts. Little fly ball, curling foul, out of play. Rollins 1 year, talk about being unaccustomed to drawing blanks. He had a 38-game hitting streak a couple of years ago. He made the National League All-Star team his rookie year. 1-2 to Jimmy Rollins. Two and two. Jimmy was friends with the former Eagles wide receiver Terrell Owens, and he bought a hyperbaric chamber. Fouled away. Jimmy says a hyperbaric chamber, what it does, it takes what's in the room, the air, compresses it, and your body feeds off it. You sit there, and the pressure's like being under 9 feet of water. You feel a lot better, and you're able to sustain your energy level. Hyperbaric chamber. Jason Worth has one. Little ground ball. Hudson better hurry, and whoa! Rollins just nipped. Orlando took his time. Jimmy almost made it. And at the end of 5½, 3-1, Philadelphia. putting the freeze cam on with the base hit by Chase Utley scoring one. The relay on Chris Colson, the collision with Russell Martin. The catchers go head to head and the ball just spilled out of Martin's mitt. He had made a wonderful play to short hop that throw, but then he took a lick. Couldn't hold on to it. Dodgers thoroughly frustrated last night and so far tonight. Finally got a run without a hit in the fourth inning. Matt struck out in the third. And lines that one to left field for a base hit. Juan Pierre opened up the game with a base hit to left field, and the Dodgers did not get another hit until Kemp here in the sixth. So that extends his streak to 10. And Jamie Hoffman is out coming up, and he will bat for Moto. Jamie appeared as a pinch hitter last night and flied to center. Appeared as a pinch hitter the night before against the D-backs and popped up. And ball one. For Jamie Hoffman, tough to be a pinch hitter, especially. He is 0 for 6 in the role. 3 for 19, including 1 home run. With the runner going, a high fly ball back to first down the line. It's going to land just foul. Just foul. So Jamie will have to come back and try it again. Boy, that was cutting it very, very close. One ball and 1 strike to Jamie Hoffman. Jamie was about 4 years old when Jamie Moyer began his career. One ball and 2 strikes to count. Not a ball thrown in the Philadelphia bullpen. Moyer's pitch count is still very reasonable, and he's leading 3-1. Two and 2. Moyer's fastball clocked at 79. Just missed that inside corner with it. He has hit a batter. He has not walked any, and he has struck out 3. Three to 1 Philadelphia, bottom of the 6th. Little sinker at the end of it. That was an 80-mile-an-hour fastball. It's amazing. We're sitting here calling them off to you. You talk Broxton 98, 99, other guys 95, and here you're talking fastball 79. 3 and 2. Kemp at first, nobody out. Matt has 12 stolen bases. 12 out of 14. We'll see if they run him with Hoffman at the plate. There you go. Look at that range. That's what we said about keeping a gap between the so-called fastball and the changeup. And ground ball to Rollins. They get 1. Utley turns it for 2. Six, 4, 3 double play. 2 down, bases empty. And Juan Pierre will be coming up.
Juan Pierre.
So Kemp is erased along with Hoffman. Pierre's the one fella who has given Jamie Moyer a bad time. Pierre singled on the first pitch in the bottom of the first inning and stole second. In the fourth inning, hit by a pitch, stole second, and 2 ground balls got him around for the only Dodger run. Juan batting .372. Big curveball for a strike. Little ground ball to Utley. So the Dodgers tiptoe through the 6th. And at the end of 6, Jamie Moyer walks off leading 3-1. The good and the bad, and you have to live with both of them when you play this game for a living. 3 straight Gold Gloves and a rare infielder to win a Gold Glove in each league. 1 with Toronto, 2 with Arizona. Here's Era with Bruntlett at first. Chris Coast hit a ground ball up the middle. And it looked like Orlando tried to glove it and shovel it to Pierre. Had he handled the ball cleanly, shovel it to for call. Had he handled the ball cleanly, he might have even had a double play against a catcher running to first. Well, the shovel got away for the error. And then Utley doubled in 2. So Brent Leach becomes the 3rd Dodger pitcher. And he'll start against Chase Utley. 4-1. Leach came into the game last night, and the first batter he faced was Ryan Howard, and he struck him out. Now he gets Utley. Two balls and no strikes. Utley had a fluky little single in the first inning. It looked like it came out of a hose and it rolled up along third. Blake never had a play. Fly to left and then doubled in the 4th inning to drive in 2. That's a strike. You think Brent Leach was watching every move that Jamie Moyer made while he was out there on the mound? I would think so. Two and one. Ball three. Brent Leach, 28 years old. Jason Worth on deck. And then Ryan Howard. Fastball, strike two. Come back, Chase. Utley hitting .305. Thought the pitch was low. Todd Tishner calls him back. Utley with 12 home runs, 38 runs batted in. Foul ball. Game 3 of the series tomorrow at 1:05, and then they'll close it out with Antonio Bastardo. He's a left-hander going against Randy Wolf. So in 3 of the 4 games, it's a battle of left-handed starters, and tomorrow the right-handers Blanton and Kuroda. And a drive into right center. Matt Kemp on the run and spears it. Fine play. Matt might still have a little problem on balls hit straight at him, but when he's going after a gapper, either to right center or left center, he makes some wonderful plays like that one. So Utley losing an extra base hit, and we have one away in the 7th inning. So the batter will be Jason Worth. Utley takes a seat. Jason has walked, singled, and struck out. 1 for 2. Three runs, 8 hits for the Phils, 1 run, 2 hits, and a big error for the Dodgers. Phillies are #1 in the majors in their percentage on the defense with only 17 errors. Foul back. 2 balls and 1 strike to Jason Worth. We were talking about him last night, about the great athletic genes that he has. His mother competed in the long jump and the 100 meters Olympic trial. She was a world-class sprinter. His dad was a star receiver at Illinois State. His grandfather, a big leaguer, Dick Schofield. His uncle played in the big leagues, Dick Schofield Jr. His sister went to Nebraska on a volleyball scholarship. Sports are really a major part of his life because of his background. So Jason draws the walk, and the batter will be Ryan Howard. Martin out to talk about what they did last night. Last night, Howard struck out with 2 on in the 7th inning and 2 out. The Leach had that 1 chance against him. Now he'll go after him again. Howard struck out, single to right, and double to right, but they left him at third in the 5th inning. Ryan was in the high school band. He was a trombone player. Yeah, that's right. Hesitation by Worth, but he just did get back. The Leach almost picked him off. When people ask about Howard playing the trombone, They asked the athletic director of compliance how good he was. And the instructor said he was an average trombone player, but I don't see him giving this up to play in a jazz band. And we mentioned last night he loves to bowl, and he actually rolled a 258. In 2005, Ryan Howard was the National League Rookie of the Year, the Jackie Robinson Rookie of the Year, and that meant a great deal to his mother because her father was a pretty good ball player. Cheryl Howard's father, who was named James Black, was a left-hand hitting first baseman outfielder, played with and against Hall of Famer Willie Mays. But his grandfather had a family and he was a coal miner, so he never pursued a baseball career. 2-1 to Ryan Howard. Mike Schmidt, the great Hall of Famer third baseman for the Phillies, hit 48 home runs in 1980. And most people said, well, that's not going to last long when they took a look at Howard. And sure enough, in 2006, he hit 58. In the dirt. Nice block by Martin. 3-1 the count. Another thing about Ryan Howard last year, he was just one of 5 players to play in every game. So far, he has played in every game this year. Three and one. And a drive to right center. Going back for it is Kemp at the wall to make the catch. And now hustling back is Worth. And he will just get back there. Another nice play by Matt Kemp. Boy, when that thing left home plate, it looked like it was going to go out. So Howard pins Matt Kemp against the right center field wall, and a round of applause. The second fine play by Matt here in the 7th inning. So Leach watching that thing and watching Kemp. Up you go. Made the play. So the batter now is Raul Ibanez. I guess Howard has pinned some outfielders ever since the beginning of his career. Big curveball. Good pitch to Ibanez for a strike. 0-1. So Utley and Howard hit long outs to right center. 2 fine running catches by Matt Kemp. And Jason Worth is still at first base. Phillies lead 3-1 in the 7th. And they got Worth picked off. Loney down to for call. There's the tag. So no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. And at the end of 6 1/2, it's 3-1 Philadelphia, thanks to Matt Kemp keeping the score down. And the crowd will now be asked to stand and sing God Bless America. And since tomorrow is the 65th anniversary of D-Day, we might have a little thought behind the words tonight more than usually. God bless America indeed. And God bless all those who died for our country. God. crowd came for fireworks, but the Dodgers have barely had a sizzle. And we'll see what happens in the bottom of the seventh. Down in the Philadelphia bullpen, Scott Air and Clay Condrey throwing backup Jamie Moyer. And strike one. How tough have Cole Hamels and Jamie Moyer been? The Dodgers have not drawn a base on balls in the series. They did have Pierre get hit by a pitch, but that's all. In fact, Cole Hamels and Jamie Moyer combined have gone to only 4 3-ball counts in the series in the 2 games. And remember, that's against a club that was 12-4 against left-hand starters going into the series, and 5-1 at home against left-handers. High fly ball to left field. Back goes Ibanez at the wall. It's off the glove and wall, and Percall into second base with a double. Ibanez so near and yet so far, and Percall a leadoff double to left. Foul went up. Got his glove on it, just touched the fingertips and then hit the wall. For the Dodgers, only their 3rd hit. It's only the 3rd man that they've gotten to second base. The other 2, Pierre stealing second. So here's Orlando, flied to right, grounded to short. And ball 1. On deck, Casey Blake. 3 runs, 8 hits for the Phils, but they have not had a hit since the 5th. And ball 2. Charlie Manuel watching his 46-year-old left-hander. Big bounce to the third. Short hop nicely by Felice. Then a bad throw. Short hop by Ryan Howard. So a good play at either end. One away for Cole with the ball hit ahead of him at nowhere to go. And the batter will be Casey Blake. Remember, we told you that Philadelphia leads the major leagues in fewest errors, only 17. And the left side of the Philadelphia infield, that means Pedro Felice and Jimmy Rollins combined, have made only 5 errors. Felice, the 3rd baseman, has made 2, and Rollins, the shortstop, has made 3. So here's Blake trying to pick up for Call. Ball 1. Just shows him a little sinker, the fastball, about 79 miles an hour. Just to add to his various pitches, Moyer has a cutter. 2-0. He fell behind 2-0 to Hudson. And ball 3. So there it is. A 3-ball count for Jamie Moyer. Waiting on deck, James Loney. And the pitch count up to 86. And a strike. 3-1. And another strike. It's that fastball that sinks. 3-2 to Casey Blake. For a call who doubled off Ibanez's glove and wall. Still there. Ground ball to third. Runner is nowhere to go. Felice makes an accurate throw. 2 down. So for call, a leadoff double, finds himself still out there. And James Loney trying to pick him up. Loney has grounded out and struck out in his career. He came in tonight 2 for 4 with a home run and 4 runs batted in against Loney, against Jamie Moyer, but Loney is 0 for 2 tonight, so he would be 2 for 6. Russell Martin on deck. Phillies 3, Dodgers 1, bottom of the 7th. Big breaking ball, but he missed. Ball 1. That curveball in the 60s. Moyer has now made 90 pitches. And a fly ball to right field. Late start by Bruntlett. And he makes it and can't make the catch. And Loney holds it first. Bruntlett either lost the ball or thought it was hit harder. He had no jump. And then when he realized it, he tried to make the catch and couldn't do it. So the Dodgers get a big break. It is now Phillies 3, Dodgers 2. Same motion. Now he tries to catch up to it, and it is too late. So Loney, a pop fly single to right. Call scores. Loney with a run batted in. And the batter is Russell Martin. And Bruntlett angry at himself, I'm sure. Dodgers 2 runs, 4 hits. The Phillies 3 runs, 8 hits. And here's Martin. Little ground foul. Phillies scored a run in the 3rd and 2 in the 4th. Dodgers got 1 in the 4th and 1 in the 7th. No balls and 1 strike. Going in, you had the feeling with Jamie Moyer, 5 to 6 innings at most, and no more than 100 pitches. Well, he's getting closer and closer as he gets himself into the 7th inning and should be out of the inning. 2-1. So Charlie Manuel staying with the veteran. High strike. Martin a little unhappy on that one. 3-2 Philadelphia here in the 7th. Phillies got a break on Hudson's error. Dodgers get a break on Bruntlett not getting a jump. It was just a routine fly ball. Fouled away. Martin with 20 runs batted in. Russell hitting 260. For Jamie Moyer, this is the toughest inning. He's made 20 pitches, and his pitch count is now at 96. Just missed. So a 3-ball count, 3-2. That helps Loney. He'll be going on the pitch. Ryan Howard is not holding. So the tying run will be in motion. Ground ball to Rollins. And that'll be that. So the Dodgers get a big break. Bruntlett misjudging the fly ball. The Dodgers get one. And at the end of 7, Phillies lead 3-2. AT&T, the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T, your world delivered. The Phillies holding on to what is now a 3-2 lead, and it would appear as if Jamie Moyer has called it a night. Made 98 pitches. Watch this. He pats Bruntlett on the back, gives him a little, hey, forget about it. Just a little touch of class for the 46-year-old left-hander who made 98 pitches, allowed 2 runs, 4 hits, no walks, struck out 3. Moyer had 12 ground ball outs. Cole Hamels had 13 last night. And although a pat on the back probably isn't enough for Bruntlett to stop kicking himself for failing to get any kind of a jump on Loney's fly ball. So it goes. Ibanez popped up, hit into a force play, and lost a base hit on a dazzling diving stop by Orlando Hudson. Down in the Dodger bullpen, among other things, Leach is due to bat 3rd in the bottom of the 8th, so Ramon Troncoso begins to loosen up. Ibanez 0 for 3, then Felice 1 for 3. 2-1 the count to Raul. Got that on the foot or ankle. 2-2 the count. Yeah, instep of the right foot. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And a 1-hopper right on by Orlando Hudson. So Ibanez drills 1. That'll be the first hit for the Phils since the 5th inning. A 1-hopper. Orlando put the glove up and came up with an empty glove. It'll be a base hit, and the batter Pedro Feliz. And now Torrey going out. He has Troncoso ready, and in a 1-run game he's not going to wait to hit for Leach. He will take him out. and we'll be back. And Ramon Troncoso becomes the 4th Dodger pitcher. He has done a wonderful job. Earned run average 1.8. He's allowed just 2 runs in his last 12 appearances. That's over 15 innings, going back to the 8th of May. Troncoso, ideally for Torrey, it would have been for Leach to retire the side, bat for him, and then have Troncoso pitch. However, the base hit by Ibanez forced his hand, so here's Ramon. Felice single to center, flied to left, and lined out to Orlando Hudson. Fastball, strike. Oh, 1. And that's going to be a base hit to right. Ibanez to second. He will hold on. Ethier guns it in for call. So Felice comes up with his second hit. And the Phillies now 2 on, nobody out. They have 10 hits. And the batter will be Eric Bruntlett. You know what's in his mind. Bruntlett is 2 for 3. Single to left, single to center, fly to left. Checking now with third base coach Sam Palazzo. 3 runs, 10 hits for the Phils, 2 runs, 4 hits for the Dodgers. On deck, the catcher Chris Coast. Dodgers pull up the corners looking bunt, and Bruntlett bunts. The only play by Casey Blake is to Hudson, so the sacrifice works. So Bruntlett moves him along. He'll get 5s in the dugout. And with second and third, Chris Coast will not be coming up. They'll go to the bench for Greg Dobbs, the left-hand batter. So Greg Dobbs coming up in a big spot. Dobbs is from Los Angeles, lives in Moreno Valley, and was a
Greg
selection
Dobbs
by the Mariners back in 2001. He was going to Long Beach State. The Astros drafted him 10th, but he decided to transfer from Long Beach to the University of Oklahoma. And he finally signed as a 5th-year senior for the Mariners. Left-hand hitter, grew up idolizing Will Clark and trying to copy Ken Griffey Jr. Been with the Phillies since '07. Infield up, and ball 1. Matt Stairs, and the Dodgers certainly remember him from the playoffs. Matt Stairs on deck. And ball 2. So Troncoso in some trouble. Ibanez singled against Leach, but Felice singled against Troncoso. The sacrifice with runners at second and third and 1 out. Dobbs up there trying to pick somebody up. Dobbs last year hit .301 for the Phils. He has 2 home runs and a half a dozen runs batted in. Greg as a pinch hitter, and that's been his major role. 4 for 24 with 2 runs batted in. He'll be 31 in July. 2-1. And on the inside corner, although he didn't agree, 2-2 the count. Dobbs, one of those fellows who was blessed in the fact that he became the first Seattle player ever to homer in his first major league at bat. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And a little roller foul, though Greg is still there. So Ramon Troncoso battling Greg Dobbs with Matt Stairs on deck. Only 1 out. In the dirt, blocked by Martin. 3-2 the count. So it's still 3-2. Ibanez at third, Felice at second, 1 away. 3-2 Philadelphia. And a high fly ball to shallow left field. Pierre on the dead run, and the runners will hold as Juan has his throw cut off by Casey Blake. So Greg Dobbs, fly ball to shallow left, 2 out, and now Matt Stairs is coming up. It doesn't take too much of a memory to remember Matt Stairs. The left-hand hitter out of New Brunswick, Canada. And you may remember he hit the game-winning 2-run home run in the 8th inning of Game 4 of the LCS right here. He hit it against Jonathan Broxton. First base open, and they will walk Matt intentionally. Boy, that's a switch. So go face Jimmy Rollins, but Rollins is 0 for 9 in the series, and obviously he's been struggling at the plate. So Matt Stairs gets the intentional walk after Greg Dobbs' little fly ball. So with the bases loaded, the batter in a moment will be Jimmy Rollins. The paid attendance tonight, fine crowd, prospects of a good game with the Dodgers and Phils, and fireworks after the game. The paid attendance 52,538. 52,538. And they're seeing a dandy. Jimmy Rollins, who is waiting on deck, is 0 for 9 in the series, and Torrey's going to challenge him in a minute. Jimmy is switch hitter, so he can turn around against Troncoso. Not only are the Phillies only 1 for 13 with runners in scoring positions, but Rollins himself is 0 for 5. So for Charlie Manuel, his MVP of 2 years ago is on the spot again. Jimmy has popped up, grounded out twice, fly to right. One slam, and that was 5 years ago. He does have 3 home runs, 18 runs batted in. So you have Ibanez, Felice, and Stairs all on the base paths. And a strike. Jimmy Rollins, a switch hitter, hitting 248 from the left side, only 173 from the right. And of course, he was batting right-handed against Milton. 1-1 to Jimmy. Down the line from third is Ibanez. Felice away from second. Stairs at first. 2 out. Fastball. 2-1. Troncoso pitched an inning in the last game with Arizona. Did not pitch last night. 2-1. Ball 3. So in the inning, Ibanez single to right, Felice single to right, Bruntlett sacrifice, Dobbs a little fly ball to left. They walk Stairs intentionally, but now Troncoso is behind 3-1 to Jimmy Rollins. 3-2 Philadelphia, 2 out, 8th inning. And a strike. Rollins strikes out about twice as much as he walks. Everybody up. Runners go. Fly ball to the gap. Pierre hustling over to make the play. The Phillies lead 3, and it's still 3-2 Philadelphia. Philadelphia is 1 for 14 with runners in scoring position. They've left 10, leaving the bases full there in the 8th inning. Jimmy Rollins 0 for 6 with runners in scoring position. And for the Dodgers, despite not doing anything offensively, they're still very much in the game. J.C. Romero, left-hander coming out of the pen. Romero from Rio Pedras in Puerto Rico, but makes his home in Mobile, Alabama. He went to the University of Mobile. Had a birthday yesterday, and he's 33. Came up with the Twins back in 1999, then Red Sox and the Phillies. So Andre Ethier, fastball strike, 0-1. Ethier fly deep to center and struck out, 0 for 2. Oh, 1 the count. Fastball on the hands, 0-2. Romero, who is 5'11", a very muscular 205 pounds, nicknamed The Rock. Big fan of pro wrestling. And a little roller. Up with it is Utley to get him. Ethier, 1 away. And the batter will be Matt Kemp, who has struck out and singled, made a couple of remarkable running catches in the 7th inning. And with his base hit, he has hit safely in 10 in a row. Mark Loretta comes out on deck to bat for Ramon Francoso. Oh, here's Matt. Little fly ball single in the 6th inning. Little off speed, took something of that. Ball 1. 80-mile-an-hour changeup. Kemp hitting .313, half a dozen home runs, 30 runs batted in. And a strike. Whoa, Matt's not happy about that. One ball and 1 strike. 2-1. Down in the Dodger bullpen, Jonathan Broxton begins to warm up. John doesn't come in many Dodger games when they're losing. Ball 3. Loretta waits on deck. Three and 2. Fastball at 92. Boy, the adrenaline is certainly pumping, talking to himself, huffing and puffing. 3 and 2, and Kemp backs out. Three and 2 to Matt Kemp. And ball 4. So the Dodgers get the tying run aboard with 1 out. Kemp, remember, has stolen 12 out of 14. And Romero now will be working against the veteran Mark Loretta. Dodgers finally get a walk. They did not get a walk from Cole Hamels, and they did not get a walk from Jamie Moyer. So they get their first walk in the 2 games against Romero. Loretta hitting .283, 8 for 22 with 3 runs batted in, however, as a pinch hitter. On deck, Juan Pierre. Dodgers are fortunate that they have scored at all. Pierre was hit by a pitch, stole second, and 2 ground balls got him home. That's a ball. Eric Bruntlett misjudged, got no jump on the fly ball by Loney, kind of a fly ball he would normally stick in his hip pocket. Tried to make a diving catch, couldn't make it. Loney credited with a base hit and a run batted in. 1-0. Again, we mentioned the black patch with HK on the Phillies uniform for Harry Callis, their wonderful broadcaster who passed away recently. One and one to Mark Loretta. 1 out, 8th inning, 3-2 Philadelphia. Dodgers have a wonderful record in 1-run games. They're not only 12-5, but in 1-run games in Dodger Stadium, they are 9-1. The Phillies in 1-run games are 7 of 10, 3-2 on the road. So Kemp a threat to steal. Romero trying to take a step away from him, and Loretta made him 1 ball and 1 strike. One ball, 1 strike. Fastball whacked down the line, foul. Well, Loretta ripped that one, a 91-mile-an-hour fastball, pulled it too much. 1-2 the count to Mark. Loretta not only with 8 hits, but 5 walks as a pinch hitter. He has only struck out 3 times in his previous 27 pinch hitting appearances. He has 2 strikes on him now. 1-2. And a fly ball to left field. Going back on it is Ibanez. He's there, and Kemp has to hold. So Loretta, a fly ball to left. 2 down in the 8th inning, and Juan Pierre coming up.
Left fielder, number 9, Juan Pierre.
Pierre singled on the first pitch that Jamie Moyer made in the game, and then stole second. But Rafael Furcal hit into a double play. In the 4th inning, Pierre was hit on the sleeve, stole second, and 2 ground balls got him home. And then his last at bat against Moyer, he grounded out. And ball 1. So Juan is 1 for 2. And hitting .369. Phillies 3, Dodgers 2. Kemp the tying run at first base. And Romero well aware of the fact that Matt has stolen 12 out of 14, and JC really keeping an eye on him. Foul back, 1-1. Romero has signed a 3-year deal, takes him through next year, and a club option. There goes Kemp. The pitch is low inside on a bounce into center field, but it's backed up there by Worth, and Matt cannot advance. So Carlos Ruiz makes a throw on a bounce, and Rollins unable to get his glove on it. So the Dodgers now have the tying run at second base with 2 out. So Juan Pierre just trying to hit the ball anywhere, find a hole, drop one in, and get Kemp home. Pierre 2 for 4 against Romero in the past. Oh, good fastball, blow him away at 92, and that's that. So no runs, no hits, a man left, and at the end of 8, 3-2 Philadelphia. He has been holding the opponents to a .090 batting average. He has 47 strikeouts and 13 out of 15 saves. Not only all those strikeouts, he has only 10 walks. However, you usually see Broxton coming in to hold on to a game. It's a rare one where he comes in just trying to keep the opposition quiet. And what he has done against left-hand hitters is really eye-popping, so this ought to be something. Left-handers are 3 for 45 against Broxton. That's a .067 average, but he's got an awfully good hitter right now in Chase Utley. Broxton and Utley. Utley is 2 for 4 against him. That's a strike. So he's allowed only 4 hits to left-hand batters, and Utley has 2 of them. Chase tonight an infield single, fly to left, double to right, and lost an extra base hit on a dazzling catch by Matt Kemp, who made 2 of them in the 7th inning. 0-2 to Chase. Phillies 3 runs, 10 hits. Dodgers 2 runs, 4 hits. For Call, Hudson, and Blake will be due up in the 9th inning. And foul back. Down in the Philadelphia bullpen, their ace closer, Brad Lidge, begins to warm up. So Broxton and Lidge head to head with the Phillies leading 3-2. For the Phillies, it's been a case of wasted opportunities. For the Dodgers, they've just not been able to get started. One and two to Chase Utley. Dodgers and Phils tomorrow afternoon and Sunday evening. Dodgers then will host San Diego for 2 and go to Texas and come back and play Oakland. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Ground foul by Davey Lopes. Jason Worth on deck, and then Ryan Howard. This is the 5th meeting of the scheduled 9. 5th of the scheduled 7. They split the first 4. 1 and 2 to Chase. Phillies, remember, came into this game with a 7-game winning streak. Utley still there. Phillies playing very good ball. Not only have won 7 in a row, they've taken 8 out of 10, 16 of the last 20, and they are 4 games in front of the New York Mets. But they've done it the hard way by winning on the road. They're under 500 at home, but they are 20-6 on the road as Jimmy Rollins talks to Charlie Manuel. 1 and 2 to Utley. Down he goes. Martin will have to make the out at first. 1 away in the 9th inning. So another left-hand hitter bites the dust against Jonathan Broxton. Breaking ball in the dirt.
Jason Worth.
Of course, when you can throw your breaking ball about 90 miles an hour, pretty hard to hold up. Now Jason Worth. Jason has walked and singled, struck out and walked. He had a base hit in the 3rd inning. And ball 1. Jason Worth against Jonathan Broxton is not only 0 for 4, he has struck out all 4 previous at-bats. Ball and no strikes. Fastball in there. When the Dodgers bat in the bottom of the 9th against Brad Lidge for Call, Hudson, and Blake, and if anybody gets on, James Loney. So don't go wandering off. 1 and 1. 2 and 1. So the big crowd had a chance to see Jamie Moyer, and Moyer was brilliant on the heels of that tremendous performance by Cole Hamels. 2 and 1. And stroke to center. Here comes Kemp, but it's in front of him for a base hit. So Jason Worth comes up with his 2nd hit. He's 2 for 3 tonight. Worth last night had 2 hits, and he has also walked 3 times in the 2 games. So Worth's been on base a lot, and here comes Ryan Howard. Now this is a meeting of giants. Broxton and Howard. Howard is 0 for 6, striking out 4 times against Broxton. Ryan with a single and a double tonight, and he also lost an extra base hit on a dazzling catch by Matt Kemp. Dodgers load up the right side. Jason Worth with a short lead. Juan Pierre is so deep in left field that if you didn't look at home plate, you would swear a right-hand batter was at the plate. Well, that's quite a defensive alignment with Blake all alone on the left side. 1-1 to Ryan, who whistled one by a diving Hudson in the third inning. That's a strike. 1-2, the slider that time. Phillies 3 runs, 11 hits. Dodgers 2 runs, 4 hits. And Jason Worth, who can run at first base. Worth has stolen 10 out of 12. All the way. So Howard has faced Broxton 7 times and has struck out 5 of the 7 while going 0 for 7. The Broxton has nailed 2, and the batter now will be Raul Ibanez. Ibanez popped up, hit into a force play. Hudson took a base hit away from him and a possible RBI in the 5th inning, and then Ibanez singled to right in the 8th. But the Phillies have been leaving men, and they've left 10. Now with 2 out, they'll certainly keep an eye on Worth. Ball 1. Ibanez has had 1 at bat against Broxton in Philadelphia, and he was 1 for 1. So of the 4 hits that Broxton has allowed this year to left-hand batters, the Phillies have 3 of the 4 hits. 2 by Utley and 1 by Ibanez. 1-1. On the outside corner, 1-2 to count. (3-2) Philadelphia. 2 out in the 9th. Broxton has struck out 2 and given up a single. Fastball got him. So Big John strikes out the side, getting Utley, Howard, and Ibanez. But Brad Lidge is coming in from the Philadelphia bullpen to try and protect Brad Lidge, coming out of the pen out of Sacramento, makes his home in Inglewood, California now. Brad went to school at Notre Dame and was a first-round pick by the Astros back in '98. Came up in '02, stayed with them until '08 when he joined Philadelphia. And by the start of the 2009 season, you may remember, he had converted 44 consecutive regular season saves, the third longest streak in history. Of course, Eric Gagne had the unbelievable 84. However, Lidge, coming in this game, has been struggling. He is not only 0-2, his earned run average is over 7, but he has managed to save 13. So Lidge will face Furcal, Hudson, and Blake. And looking back to perhaps learn about the present, Furcal is 0 for 8 against Lidge, striking out 4 times. Tonight, hit into a double play, grounded to third, and double to left. And a strike, 0-1. Brad is 32. He'll be 33 the end of December. His grandfather, one of the preeminent orthopedic surgeons in the Chicago area. And immediately he does a little surgery on Furcal, and he's out in front 0-2. Giants picked him out of high school, but he opted not to sign. Instead went to Notre Dame. In the dirt. Interesting too, when Brad was in high school, he didn't make the Cherry Creek High School varsity his junior year. Down in Houston, they used to call him Lights Out Lidge. 2-2. Basically fastball and a slider. A couple of years ago he came up with a changeup. Former Dodger pitcher Jack Billingham had a lot to do with improving Lidge in the minor leagues. Ball 3. In looking at Lidge's numbers, not only the obvious 0-2, his strikeout to walk ratio is 2-1. On deck, Orlando Hudson. Check swing, strike 3. The down goes for call. 1 out in the 9th inning. And the batter will be Orlando Hudson.
Orlando Hudson.
Furcal doesn't argue, but his body language tells you he thought that was ball 4. So 1 out, and Orlando Hudson coming up. Hudson flied to right, grounded to short, grounded to third, 0 for 3, hitting .320. A strike. Hudson versus Lidge, 1 for 3 in the past. On deck, Casey Blake. Oh, 0-1. Fastball straightens him up. He hits 93 on the gun. 1 ball and 1 strike. Lidge has 8 saves in his career against the Dodgers. That's a strike. 1-2. Brad has blown 4 saves, but he still leads all National League pitchers in save percentage since September of 2007. Little ground ball, and the Dodgers now are down to their last out. And remember, the Dodgers in 1-run games at home were 9-1 coming into tonight's game. And the batter, Casey Blake. Blake 1 for 1 in the past against Lidge. By the way, remember, Jamie Moyer started the game with 250 victories. He stands to be the winner, and if so, Jamie would join Cardinal right-handed Bob Gibson with 251 victories. And that's a strike to Casey Blake. The Lidge very much on the beam. In the dirt, 1-1. Dodgers on the edge with Pierre and Hudson especially involved. Check swing. They're going to look. Swing, says Mike Winters. And it's a 1-2 count to Casey Blake. Andre Ethier taken in the action. He went 0 for 3. And a line drive, base hit into left field. And so James Loney will be coming up. So 2 out, tying run at first, 3-2 Philadelphia. Loney 2 for 3 against Lidge in the past. Casey Blake, by the way, does not do any base running. No stolen bases, no attempts. Ryan Howard holding a bag, so the hole is on the right side. And a strike. Boy, Lidge has been first pitch strike, going right after the hitters. Of course, he has always been a very aggressive pitcher. About 5 years ago, he had 157 strikeouts as a closer. That was a National League record for a reliever. 1 ball and 1 strike. That year, he averaged on paper 14.9 strikeouts for 9 innings. There they are. The hard throws. 1-1. Check swing. 1-2. Fastball up. Lidge's career, the batting average against him, .210. In the dirt, nice save by Ruiz. 2-2 to count to Loney. 2 down, so the Boosters are wild. 3-2 Philadelphia. Russell Martin waiting on deck. Crowd of 52,538. Battle here. Loney getting a piece of a 93-mile-an-hour fastball, and Ruiz out to talk to Brad. Last year, left-handers hit .273 against Lidge with 1 home run, and right-handers hit .105 against him with 1 home run. 2-2. Ball 3. Martin waiting on deck. You may remember Lidge in April had inflammation of the right knee. They gave him a cortisone shot, but didn't really help him much. That's one reason why his ERA was so high. All right, 3-2. Blake ready to go. Loney walks about as many times as he strikes out. Blake ready to go, and it is ball 4. Loney does a great job of battling for the walk. Sam Peloso alongside of Charlie Manuel as Ruiz talks to Liz. And Russell Martin coming up. Joe Torre sending messages to Larry Boa. I think they're asking Casey Blake. Remember, Blake had the hamstring problem, and Torre wanted to know, tell Boa to ask Blake, are you all right? Can you run well enough to score on a base hit? And apparently, and obviously, Blake said yes, he's okay. But the Dodgers had to make sure. So Russell Martin, 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts against Lids, checking in. 0-1. Breaking ball at 84. Martin has lined out to right and twice grounded to short, hitting .258. 3-2 Phillies, bottom of the ninth, 2 on, 2 out. One ball and 1 strike. The identical pitch back to back. Loney at first, but Blake is the important one representing the tying run. Charlie working on the gum. On the corner, fastball, 1-2. Lidge is working very hard in the 9th inning. This will be his 25th pitch. And he got the first 2 for Colin Hudson relatively easy. 1-2 to Martin. Ground ball to third. Kick there. The throw to first base. And the bases are loaded. The Phillies, the #1 fielding team in the major leagues, and Pedro Feliz plays the ground ball for the error, almost threw it away. Ryan Howard went over to short hop it. So the Dodgers have the bases loaded, 2 out, an error charged to Feliz. And we were talking earlier about the left side of the Philadelphia infield having made only 5 errors, and the fact Feliz had only made 2. Well, Pedro makes his 3rd error of the year. The Dodgers get a huge break. And the batter is Andre Ethier. Andre Ethier flied to center, struck out and grounded out. 0 for 3. And against Brad Lidge, 1 for 2. And a drive to right field on the dead run, and unable to catch it is Bruntlett. 2-run score, and the Dodgers win it 4-3. Strokes one into the right field corner. Bruntlett couldn't get it. 2 runs scored, all set up on the error by the usually reliable Pedro Feliz, and the Dodgers pull it out, which means they are now 10-1 in one-run decisions at Dodger Stadium. What a finish. Tomorrow, the Dodgers and the Phillies will be on Big Fox. First pitch at 1:10. Once again, the final score, Dodgers 4, Phillies 3, ruining the night for Jamie Moyer. Broxton the